Crosstown rivals Naperville Central and Naperville North meet up in boys and girls basketball, and we'll also dive into some boys swimming. Hello everyone and welcome to Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Joe Kennedy. The holiday season is here, and today's show is our last one of 2023, so let's wrap up the year with some intense matchups. The Huskies traveled just down the road to take on the Red Hawks, where the boys teams kicked off the action.
The ESPN desk is here at Naperville Central. The Red Hawks boys basketball team gets set to take on Naperville North in a crosstown matchup, as both teams are looking for their first DVC win of the season. Opening up the scoring is Naperville North. Cole Arl plays the ball inbounds to Luke Williams, who makes no mistake in the paint. Naperville North continuing on offense. Luke Williams gets the ball on top as he knocks down the triple. Huskies go up 7-2. Central brings the ball back down the court. Jackson First fights his way into the paint, baking in 2 points. Red Hawks trail 12-6. However, it would be all Naperville North late in the quarter as Jack Kallstrand sinks the three-pointer. The Huskies go into the second frame up 17-6. Naperville North starts the quarter with the ball. Jack Kallstrand gets it on the outside as he shoots for three, extending the Huskies' lead. Central trying to get something going. Jack Gervase gets the ball at the point as he shoots for three. Red Hawks trail 20-9. The Red Hawks are starting to crawl back into the game. Nathan Abramson gets the ball out wide, who tacks on another three-pointer for Central. Finishing the half strong is Jack Kallstrand, who drives hard into the paint, scoring on the one-handed layup. Huskies lead 34-19 at the break. Starting the third quarter with strong defense is Luke Williams, who makes the steal and runs down the other way for the layup. North now up 37-21 as Bryce Welsh works to outside, going for the layup that just bobbles in, extending that lead. Both teams continue to trade points towards the end of the third quarter. And finishing the quarter in style is Preston Kuta, who shoots and scores. Naperville Central still trails 50-30 going into the final frame. Naperville Central starts with ball possession in the fourth. TJ Hillman's three-point shot is no good, but picking up the rebound is Ross Dezer, who banks in two and draws the foul. Right back down the court we go as Cole Arl passes off to Jack Kallstrand, who scores on the layup. North still leads by 15. Finishing off the game for the Huskies is Luke Williams, who finds a breaking Bryce Welsh for the easy finish. That would help Naperville North to a 58-41 win over Naperville Central.
Crosstown action between Naperville North and Naperville Central continues as the Huskies travel to Red Hawk territory for a girls basketball matchup. One of these teams will pick up their first DVC victory on the season. We start things off on the opening possession. Husky Sydney Fink passes it to Kendall Johnson for the first bucket on the night. North now up 3-0, but Aaron Hackett changes that as the Red Hawk drains the three-pointer to draw the match even at 3. Hackett would try to give Central the lead on the next possession, but her pass is taken by Natalie Frempong, who skips back for the easy layup. Hackett would get redemption as on the next possession, she takes the quick pass and shoots the mid-range shot for the deuce. North now leads 14-5, and the Red Hawks are looking to gain momentum back. They do just that as Hackett drains another three-pointer and gets fouled off camera. The Red Hawks would rally to take a 15-14 lead at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, now down 16-15, Emerson Burke sends a low bounce pass to Adriana Villanova as she gets the layup to go. Central's defense would get in on the action as Johnson's pass is intercepted by Williams, who finds Hackett. She converts from the post and Central leads 21-18. Williams now looks to get in on the fun on offense. Burke throws her a beautiful pass and she's all alone, knocking down the trifecta. That extends Central's lead to 6, and they go into the half up 31-19. North looks to get going on offense in the third. Lillian Bauska finds Frempong, who connects on a three-pointer from downtown. Huskies still trail 31-22. Frempong is starting to catch fire here in the third as she takes the pass from Ava Pakasik and drills another tray ball. North now cuts the deficit to 8, 33-25. Central, however, would take command for the rest of the game. Madeline Gates gives it to Hackett, who flushes down an NBA-range three. Central leads 47-36 at the end of the third. The Redhawks would put things away in the fourth. Burke, dribbling with the ball, once again finds Hackett all alone, who sends through another three to extend the lead to 50-38. Hackett finishes the night with 32 points as Central goes on to win 59-49 and take down their crosstown rivals. Coming up after the break, we have more coverage to get to on the hardwood, including a battle between Neuqua and Metea Valley.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build the habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward. Ingenious.
Sardine fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO. In these complicated times, local news has never been more important. DailyHerald.com lets you stay connected to your community, wherever you are.
Metea Valley is back on their home court looking to jump over the 500 mark in the DVC after a loss to Waubonsie Valley. The task won't be easy as the Mustangs welcome Neuqua Valley, who is 2-0 in the DVC and 7-3 on the season. Metea trails 4-2 in the first, but James Parker dishes the ball out to Jake Nosek, and he connects from behind the line. Will Ashford step right up. With no hesitation, Ashford hits the triple to put the Mustangs up 12-4, and that forces Neuqua Valley to call a timeout. The Wildcats then get aggressive after the timeout, starting with a nice block from Colin Garrity. Garrity goes from defense to offense, and he sinks a three to get Neuqua back within 4. Luke Kincaid gets NV a little closer with the lay-in, but at the end of the first, Parker brings the ball up the court, tries the floater, and it's good to beat the buzzer. It's 17-14 Mustangs after the first. In the second quarter, the Wildcats start the fire with a three ball from John Bieber, and they trail 21-18. Nosek is able to give the Mustangs some breathing room with a turnaround shot that increases the lead to 5. Threes remain in check for Neuqua and Bieber because he hits another one, and it's back to a 2-point game. Both teams are deadlocked at 27, and Kincaid finds Whitman Charbonneau in the corner, and it's a trifecta to give the Wildcats the lead. So now they want to grow the lead, and they call up Kincaid, who hits another shot after faking out the defender. Neuqua goes on a 23-10 run in the second quarter to lead 37-27 at the half. In the second half, Nosek continues his assault by going off the glass to cut the deficit to 37-31. The threes keep on falling for Neuqua, and Nate Fiore lines up one for himself, and kaboom! Wildcats are back up by double digits. Oh, and guess who else is still on the court? Kincaid for 3. Bingo! Neuqua's up 53-40 going into the fourth. Metea is in need of any shot, so Dominic Smith finds Trey Watkins, who scores +1. The three-point play gives Metea some life. Parker tries to pull some magic but misses. However, Smith saves the ball and finds an open Nosek, who lays it in. Nosek with 14 in the game. Parker wants to redeem himself, so he fakes out Garrity and hits the lay-in, and the Mustangs make it a one-possession game, trailing 57-54. Kincaid and the Cats catch fire at the right time as he pulls up for a long 2 and hits it to stop the threat. 21 big ones for Kincaid. Joe Ballgrove hits a couple of freebies to ice the game, and the Wildcats escape Mustang territory with a 66-58 win.
The undefeated in Class 4A 5th-ranked Bennett Academy Red Wings play host to the 8-1 Marist Redhawks. Bennett comes into this game after beating St. Patrick by 22 points, while Marist defeated Notre Dame, and their lone loss this season came against Marian Catholic. The Red Wings score first when sophomore Jaden Wright gets a tough and one to fall and converts at the free throw line. A little bit later in the quarter, Marist relies on senior Darshawn Thomas to get them going as he nails this corner three to take an 8-6 lead. Threes were flying in the opening frame as Blake Fagbemi comes off the screen to drain the three. Bennett's up 12-8. Late in the first, Colin Stack throws down the only dunk of the game with this fast break slam, and it gets the whole crowd going. Marist starts off hot in the second quarter. Achilles Anderson uses his size to fight down low, grabbing the board and putting up the second chance basket, plus the foul. The second quarter also saw one of Bennett's captains, Peter Walsh, hit multiple threes. This deep one was his second of the quarter to break the tie, 26-23. Going into the second half, this game is a back-and-forth battle. One of the most athletic plays on the night comes from Gabe Solarski's flying putback to tie the game at 37. But not even a minute later, Redhawks sophomore Jameer Brown takes the lead right back. He knocks down the corner three with the defense all over him. As the game was tied at 46 and only seconds remain in the third, the Red Wings look to senior Iwola Mokulu. His three beats the buzzer and Bennett has the lead going into the fourth. But even with the electric ending to the third, 6'8 sophomore Stephen Brown and the Redhawks came out strong with this putback turnaround jumper in the paint. Late in the fourth, senior Parker Salaver took charge in the paint with a nice jump hook to take a 53-52 lead for the Red Wings. Down by one with 43 seconds to go, Colin Stack goes to the line for Bennett and sinks both free throws to put his squad ahead 62-61. That ends up being our final score on the night, and Bennett stays undefeated, moving to 10-0 on the season.
I support NCTV, the things that they bring to that local community journalism, right? Which is the news, what's happening within the local city, the sports that's attached to the city, and specifically in the sports, what I enjoy is kind of creating that ESPN movement for all our high schoolers in any kind of sport that they actually do. Third is events, right? Like we have so many events that happens within our great city. And it's amazing that NCTV does such a great coverage to kind of showcase what we are actually all about and defining that DNA or the fabric structure of Naperville. Please join me in supporting Naperville's own nonprofit television station.
Stephanie Skoronsky always wanted to teach in her hometown, and after a year, she finds herself coaching 3 sports across different levels and genders. We have more in our latest feature story, sponsored by Edward Elmhurst Health.
So growing up, when I was in high school at Central, we had such a big rivalry with North, and my family did as well. So I think always just joking around that, oh, I'm never going to teach at North, I'll teach at Central.
That joke turned into an ironic reality for Stephanie Skoronsky, who graduated from Naperville Central in 2018. Just over 4 years later, she landed a job in the multi-needs program at Naperville North, only a mile away from her alma mater. In addition to her teaching responsibilities, she now coaches 3 different sports in District 203 across multiple grade levels and genders.
Then when I really got the opportunity to be here at North, I realized, wow, this school is really the same thing, and they're both great high schools in this community. And I think for my family, it's still a little bit hard, but I do a really good job of putting on my blue and orange and my red and white still.
It might be hard for her family to get used to because from 2013 to 2021, there was at least one Skoronsky student playing sports at Naperville Central. Stephanie's older brother Matt passed away at the age of 16 in 2015 from a heart condition. As a sophomore, Matt was named to the all-conference team in varsity volleyball in addition to playing on the varsity basketball squad. Matt's love for the game of basketball drove Stephanie to pursue one of his dreams, coaching. Stephanie, who did not play basketball in high school, is currently in her first season as a freshman girls basketball coach at Naperville North. Despite not having much playing experience, growing up watching Matt gave her plenty of knowledge of the game.
I think he is very proud of me. I think that's something that he's looking up there, and he's just proud of me every day coaching, and he knows it's harder for me, but I think he knows that I grew up going to every single one of his practices and every single one of his games, so I grew up around that sport.
Just like Matt and her younger sister Caitlin, who now plays collegiately at Millikan University, Stephanie Skoronsky played varsity volleyball at Naperville Central. She still dons the red and white for part of the year because in the fall she makes the 1-mile trip after school to NCHS. She coaches the sophomore girls volleyball team, working under her former varsity coach, Bree Isaacson. Skoronsky, who could be known as a Husky Hawk, will spend almost every day after school this year at practice. In the spring, it's back to volleyball as a boys' varsity assistant coach with the Huskies.
And that's something that is a little bit of a difference for me between the girls and the boys because the whole game changes because of the height or the size of the players. And so I think it's really cool because I get to see two totally different sides of volleyball, boys and the girls, and then two different levels.
Once classes end in May, Skoronsky will continue to coach summer camps and school. The grind never stops, but the Husky Hawk is happy to be a part of both schools and keep the Skoronsky athletic legacy active in the Naperville area.
Happy to be a Husky and happy to be a Red Hawk. I think just being a part of the Naperville 203 community as a whole is a really special thing that I'm happy to be a part of.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy. We're at Neuqua Valley for this week's Girls Play of the Week. The Wildcats took host to Metea Valley, and senior guard Caitlin Washington showed off some impressive skills on offense. Just before halftime, Neuqua works the ball up court and gets it into the hands of Washington. Just watch her ball handling skills here as she evades 3 defenders before finishing a tough shot at the rim. That bucket helped give Neuqua a 38-7 lead. We'll have one more look at the play. Washington surpassed 1,000 career points earlier this year and recently received a D1 offer from Jacksonville University.
It's a robotic money expert.
Clever. How do I start a savings habit?
Famous cabbage.
Savings habit.
Shaving rabbits.
Tech can make life simpler, but when it comes to savings habits, nothing's as simple as BMO. A BMO savings account helps you build the habit with a cash reward every month you save.
Cash reward. Ingenious.
Sardine fest.
This year's top prize goes to BMO.
I'm just in it for the saving, but it's nice to be recognized.
BMO.
What's the matter, boy? What are you trying to tell me? Is something wrong?
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something.
Naperville Animal Crime Stoppers.
Yes, I'd like to report a case of animal cruelty and neglect.
Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves.
Neuqua Valley Boys Swimming hosts Naperville Central for the second DVC duel of the year for both teams. Neuqua comes off a loss to Naperville North as Central lost their first DVC duel to Waubonsie Valley. Alex Parkinson gets Neuqua on the board in the first solo race, winning by 0.05 seconds to Central's Max Goach. Parkinson would also go on to win the 500 freestyle by almost 20 seconds. Moving on to the shortest race of the night in the 50-yard free. Naperville Central's James Behrens wins by just under a second with a time of 22.56 seconds. Just 2 races later, he would win the 100-yard freestyle by 0.5 seconds over Nikwa's Arun Kara. Let's now head to the 200-yard freestyle relay. Central's team of Patrick Stern, Aaron Hunter, Behrend, and Goach beat Nikwa's relay team by 2 seconds with a total time of 1 minute and 29.61 seconds. Wildcat Ryan Watson edges out the victory in the 100-yard backstroke as he finished with a total time of 58.65 seconds. Red Hawk Alexander Ung finishes in second with a time of 59.35 seconds. Staying in the 100-yard distance, the last solo race of the night is the 100-yard breaststroke, where it's a close one to start, but freshman Braden Muir pulled away to finish in first with a time of 1 minute and 0.02 seconds. The 400-yard freestyle relay closes out the competition, and this one is definitely the race of the night. It starts close, but Nikwa's team of Gabriel Wu, Parkinson, Peter Carroll, and Kara get a huge lead going into the last leg. Then Central's team of Behrend, Stern, and Sam Lindzion make it just close enough for their anchor Goach to pull off the impressive comeback win by 0.6 of a second. Nikwa Valley still gets the last laugh though, as they pull off the win by a final score of 101-83 against Naperville Central. The IHSA boys swimming season is on as Waubonsie Valley hosts a pivotal DVC matchup against Metea Valley. We start things off with a 200-yard medley relay. The opening race of the day comes down to 2 Waubonsie teams as the group of Luke Martins, Tyler Bardick, Zayden Lamb, and Alex Schwartz pull off the victory, winning with a time of 1 minute and 45 seconds. The first individual race of the day is the 200-yard freestyle. The Warriors would also lay their claim to dominance in the individual races as Sean Baum gets the Warriors off to a hot start. He wins the race with a 1 minute and 52.01 seconds time. Moving over to the next matchup, the 200-yard IM. Luke Martins would compete in his first individual race and would make most of it as he outswims teammate Arpindar to win the race with a 2 minute and 5.30 second time. Metea's Alex Bounds gets third. The shortest race of the day would be the 50-yard freestyle race. It would once again be all Warriors in this one, as lane 5 is again the winning lane with Keon Lamb victorious with a 22.60 second time. Following the break, Metea would get things going in the 100-yard freestyle event. The closest finish of the day would be between Alex Liu and Alex Schwartz, but Liu is the better Alex in this race as he gets the Mustangs on the board, edging Schwartz by just 0.17 seconds. The Warriors would rebound in the longest event of the day, the 500-yard freestyle race. Tyler Bardick would make quick work of the competition as he flew back and forth, winning the race with a quick time of 4 minutes and 51.05 seconds. Waubonsie would ice it in the 400-yard freestyle event. The Warriors team of Lamb, Baum, Martins, and Sam Lohman would mince the field with an overall time of 3 minutes and 19.28 seconds. Waubonsie secures a dominant 102-point victory against Metea.
The boys wrestling season continues. Nikwa Valley travels to Metea Valley as both teams are looking to pick up their first conference win of the season. Starting off with the heavyweight matchup between Brady Jones and Magomed Nurodinov. We skip to the last 10 seconds of the third round as Nurodinov gets Jones down on the mat for the pin. Moving down to 126 pounds between Riley Gallagher and Colin Foley. This was a quick match as Gallagher picks up the 36-second pin. Jumping into round 2 of the 138 matchup between Juan Arroyo and Maxwell Ridges. Right at the end of the round, the ref taps the mat, giving Arroyo the victory. Next up is the 144 match between Adrian Wattis-Lewis and Curtis Burke. Burke spends most of this match on top before he eventually picks up the pin in just a minute of action. continuing to the 165 match of Jackson Wasson against Jamaluddin Nurudinov. This was another quick match for the Wildcats as Nurudinov walks away with a 1 minute and 30-second pin. Our next match is at 175 pounds between Spencer Gondik and Maddox Mendez. Mendez works quickly in the first 2 rounds, putting himself up 8-0. Finishing the match on top would be Mendez, who takes this match 13-0. The last match of the night is 190 pounds between Dominic Liorsi and Davidis Lewiton. Once again, it's the Nequa wrestler finishing on top as Lewiton picks up another pin for the Wildcats. Nequa wins the last 6 matches of the night, giving the Wildcats the 60-15 win over Metea Valley.
Naperville Central hits the mats for their first conference home meet, and why not do it against their crosstown rivals Naperville North? Both teams are 2-0 in the DVC, but the Huskies currently ride the hot hand after picking up a huge win over Powerhouse DeKalb last Thursday. Hawks get off to a great start, and at 1:13, Jacob Cochran takes the top position on Alex Ponkov. Cochran turns his opponent on his back and pins him to open up the Central lead to 12-0. At 120 pounds, Ty Martin and Connor McDonald exchange points in their match. McDonald looks for the fall, but Martin saves it to keep things rolling. Both are tied at 7 late in the third period, and Martin gets the much-needed 2 points and takes the win 9-7. Here is Vince Byrne at 1:32 getting on top and bull riding Mike Arredondo. Byrne gets many takedowns in his round, which helps him to a major decision. At 144 pounds, Hagen Taylor locks down Zach Malley and pins him to increase the Hawks' lead to 22-0. We got a good one at 150 with North's Evan Marshitz getting aggressive on Yusuf Sikandar. Each wrestler is not holding back as they light up the scoreboard with Marshitz holding a 16-15 lead later on. Although at the end, Sikandar drives and grabs 2 late points to seal a 17-16 win. What a match for Sikandar. The Huskies show some fight late in the meet, starting with Modest Budrika racking up the points with an 11-8 win over John Cairns in the 165-pound match. Then Matthew Murphy breaks a tie with a takedown on Jacob Smethers and secures a 6-4 decision at 190 pounds. Although it was all Redhawks from the start, as NC picks up a solid 40-point win over the Huskies.
Let's go to Bennett Academy for our boys' play of the week as the Red Wings basketball team welcomed in the Marist Redhawks. This game was back and forth throughout, and in the closing seconds of the third quarter, the score was tied at 46. Blake Fagbemi drives into the lane but gets double-teamed, and that leaves open Iwola Mokulu. He hits one green at the buzzer, and the entire building is rocking. Let's watch the play one more time as Bennett went on to win 62-61 and remains undefeated. That closes our final show for 2023 as we'll be off for winter break. We'll be back on air January 7th, but you can find all our winter break highlights, past feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org and our NCTV17 Sports YouTube channel. You can also find us on social media at NCTV17 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Joe Kennedy, and I hope you have a happy holiday season.